Hello, good morning, everybody. This is the sixth episode of my podcast with Bao, the Breakfast Burrito, and
Hello,
we are your hosts, Jason Dean and
and Luis Bautista, and our very special guest for today is Gap Estrella.
Hello.
Hey, Gap.
Hi, Gab.
Okay, so our first topic for today is flamingos. It's a pretty cool thing. JC, do you have anything to
Yes.
say about it?
Oh yeah. So just a fun fact. Did you know that there are more pink plastic fake pink flamingos than there are actual real flamingos in the
It's
world?
cool.
How do you
That's
count
actually
that?
sad.
Maybe
I
they have
don't know.
a census for actual not pink flamingos.
Siguro.
Yeah,
Like in the
What do they
wild.
even use the fake ones for?
I think it's
I,
decoration.
yeah, I think it was popular in the 80s because I used to play GTA Vice City tapos it's set in the 80s, Florida. And maraming pink flamingos sa game, so yeah.
No, I think it's because there are lots of trailer parks and like a pink flamingo is a cheap option to like decorate your lawn, your quote unquote lawn. So that's why
Yeah.
it's mass produced.
Oh,
Probably.
well, you learn something new every day.
Uh, anyways, how are you, Gap?
I could be better, I think. Yeah, that,
We all
that
could
would
be
be the
better.
best way to describe it.
But why?
I think there's a lot of things going on right now, like not only in the Philippines, but like all over the
Oh,
world.
yes.
Oh yeah,
And it's kind of stressful to keep up with it.
it is because
That's
it's if you have to head it face on because I don't know, it's just hard to like keep handling everything that's going on, and there's so many wrong things that you just see every single swipe up.
yeah.
There's something wrong happening. It's kind of depressing.
And
Totally, I agree.
the anti-terrorism bill pa, it's so scary. Like, I'm really scared.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know, man. Like, normally I'm like the type of person to give people the benefit of the doubt, but I don't know. This
Wala.
one, no, I tried.
Oh,
Sorry, dude.
I'm concerned for like the my friends who are very active activists. I don't know about
Yeah.
what might happen to them, but I'm really concerned what might happen to them in the
yeah.
future if they're really vocal about things. Don't get me wrong, I admire what they're doing, but I'm just scared for them.
Yeah, no, definitely. And that's the thing. Like, you can't even. I feel like what's a hard thing about that bill specifically is that it's not quantifiable. It's so arbitrary based on how they will define what terrorism is
Yeah.
and what they deem as
Yes.
something going against a government. So, um, it's really just up to them and what they feel. If they feel it's bad, they're gonna do
Yeah.
something to the person.
It's very like the government has the power to put away anyone who's dissent or looks like they're dissenting. So
Yeah.
scary. Huh. How about what do you think about the movement in the US, the Black Lives
Yeah,
Matter
Black
movement?
Lives Matter.
Um,
Any comments?
I'm honestly, I'm honestly still learning about it. Like, because I know it's such a deep-seated issue. It's not something that you can learn at a glance alone.
Yeah. Yeah.
After reading one person's tweet, it's not like you can know everything about it. So I am trying to read up on it a little bit more because there's a lot to unpack with that issue. But I'm definitely like for the hashtag. I don't know, for the movement. I think that's the better way to say it.
Yeah, me too.
We're all what do you think about the looters who've been yeah, looting places?
Mm,
Opportunists.
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's so like a nice way to put it, like a very sugar coated way of putting it.
Yeah.
Because from what I hear, kasi there are like two kinds of looters. There are the looters that are just taking advantage of the situation, and if they see a protest, they're automatically gonna loot the place.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also read about um a loot the kinds of looters that are targeting certain companies that they know specifically exploit people of color. So it's usually the large corporations. Like if you hear people stealing from Target, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken, I know that
Yes.
it's like specifically targeted at Target. Wow.
Yeah, because Target, I read na this Target was refusing the protesters like to sell
Mm-hmm.
them milk for the tear gas, so they looted Target.
Oh,
I think that's the only.
yeah.
It's the first target that was looted. That's the only place it
Yeah.
happened. But the
Mm.
other incidents of looting apparently are more of like opportunists rather than against the big corporations. From what I read.
Yeah, that's so frustrating. Like people don't realize that the parang how their actions impede on the advocacy itself. Like it really just damages the
Mhm.
reputation of all of the people fighting the good fight by doing something that, you know, don't have to do, idiot.
Yeah.
It's ruining the movement in a way that the counter the people who aren't for the movement, for example, the All Lives Matters people, they're using that as an excuse to like impede the peaceful protests going on. And I see there's
Yeah.
actual favoritism happening in the streets because there's just one clip of the guy who was fully armed in a state where you can't be visibly publicly armed, and he was like a white big guy. So he just went to the cops, talked to them, and then went away. So it was clear
Oh.
favoritism.
Yeah, there are a lot of videos like that. It is like really scary because, and then there's, I even saw a clip of a white girl walked in front of a black guy kneeling. He was kneeling, had his hands up, like absolutely not armed, was even surrendering.
Yeah.
But the girl had to stay in front of him just so that the cops wouldn't touch him.
Oh yeah,
Because
I saw
I'm pretty
that. Yeah,
sure
yeah.
that, if she wasn't there, something bad could have happened to him. Pa.
It's a sad fact that they have to use their privilege to protect other people when they
Yeah.
recognize the privilege.
Yeah. It's. Yeesh. Yeah.
Yes, JC.
Oh, but like sometimes I can't help but think na I wish because we see so much clips about the movement right now. Like it's all over
Mhm.
Twitter, different videos every day, every minute. I just hope
Mhm.
we had much more coverage with with the issues that happen here, like police brutality. So far, the only clip I've seen retweeted a lot is the
The Luman
police
protest.
vehicle, yung
Yeah.
nasasagasa. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like,
Oh
kasi
God.
the
Oh yeah.
videos
That's.
they really help in ano letting people know what's happening around, and I really hope we had more of that here.
Yeah, I get what you mean. But that's also that I mean it's another issue. I don't think it's an issue, but um parang the people kasi in the States, you know, because
They
they're
have
a
more
first world country,
access
parang
to the
everyone
internet.
has phones
Yeah,
and like
yeah,
everyone has nice cameras and like it's a thing there talaga to videotape. If
yeah.
there's something going wrong, take out your phone and bust out your phone and take a video. But here kasi it's not people's first instinct, I think.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's true.
And ayun, parang usually kasi it happens so, which is so sad, like it happens to the lower class citizens of the Philippines. So I'm not surprised na parang not all of them have access to cell phones. Or like it's not their first instinct to take it out and take a video. So
Yeah. It's inaccessible technology for them, and maybe that's the reason why they don't. It's a maybe you could see it as a good thing. Na they'd rather help the person or like stop what's happening instead of videoing it. But lately that hasn't been the case because you have to video what's happening to have proof of what might happen.
no,
Yeah.
but that's a thing. Like it's not they're not even helping. I mean like for
Ah,
example,
yeah.
because besides that besides the accident that people were getting run over, there was also the video of the soldier holding a gun towards the mentally ill person,
Other
and then
one.
he was already saying that, like, I'm not doing anything wrong, and
Yeah.
still all of the. I mean, I'm not surprised because in that situation when the guy had the gun, I'd probably be like,
Yeah. They made the other people step away, so it was already a really tense situation.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't think it's your instinct to pull out your phone. Yeah, pretty sad times. You know. Anyways, it's June, and you know what's on June?
What?
What's on June?
Happy Pride! Yay! Happy Pride
Oh
Month!
yeah.
Hey.
Yay!
God, happy Pride Month.
Happy Pride Month. So, Gap, as like a very vocal advocate of the LGBTQ community in the Philippines, how do you
Yes.
think it's progressed from its grassroots, like what, 4 years ago, 5 years ago?
Mm, I mean, I think that the Philippines is going in the right direction, but there's still definitely like major changes that need to come into play here. Because I think that on a social level, it's almost there. Like it's when people talk about it more, people are more accepting about it. Um, but in terms of like structural or systematic changes, because
It's hard.
that's where I think the
Yeah.
Philippines is really lacking. That's why people are advocating for the SOGI equality bill, like Senator Risa
Has it
Hontiveros,
been
but
passed? No.
nope, it has
Mm,
been
meron
denied
yung
twice,
anti-terrorism
if I'm
bill,
not
no?
mistaken.
No. What did you say,
I'm
JP?
sorry?
Pero yung anti-terrorism bill urgent.
Uh,
Yeah,
Jesus
I mean, you
Christ.
see where the
but
government's priorities lie. Control.
I can't believe, like, and the statements that they're making, like,
Hmm.
um, Vic Soto said that because Duterte said it's urgent, it's as good
It's
as
as good as
fast.
fast.
Wow, the audacity of this man!
I mean, there's one more thing. There was like a cool picture. Remember they loaned from the World Bank, and beside that was an
Mhm.
article about how the Congress approved spending more on voting. I don't know, election
Oh yeah, campaign
campaign.
funds
Yeah, so
per voter.
it's
I
kind of.
actually don't get that. Like, what was the bill? Like, what did they pass? Na law or something?
I think there was a designated amount of, like, for example, you're gonna have like you're gonna go to a certain barangay with a covered quotas.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna accommodate like 1,000 people, and you're gonna campaign for them. And there's this like
Mm-hmm.
per person max
Budget.
budget you can
Yeah.
allocate. So there's no, you can't technically vote by. It's a lopsided way of doing things.
Oh, so they just increased the budget that the people running for have?
Yeah,
Yeah, the budget
probably.
they have, I think. I haven't
I might be
really
wrong.
read a
Priorities.
lot about that
The
issue.
priorities.
Oh,
Jesus Christ.
it's pretty tragic.
Oh
What's
my
happening?
God.
And
I hope that, I mean, besides that, there are like so many workers. Like yesterday when GCQ happened, they couldn't even look for proper transportation. And the OTR was like, kayo na bahala in a way. It was like the company was,
yeah.
Yeah.
the company
Tapos,
was, the OTR told the companies to like provide shuttles. And what if the company doesn't have enough money, and it's a small company? And how?
It's so frustrating because it's not. It would be one thing if they were providing even the slightest amount of support, but really, when GCQ broke out, they just like
Nothing.
free for all. You
everything.
find your way to work. We'll let you know you're doing it wrong.
It's kind of weird because they only think about themselves. You could see that, but they don't think about the
Yeah.
common Filipino. The common Filipino doesn't have a car, who commutes. Are they really a Department of Transportation?
I actually don't know how to feel about the jeepney phase out.
Yeah, I heard that. And what's happening about that then?
It's
From
basically.
what
Oh no, you. Sorry.
oh go
Go.
we talked about it in class a few times. I think they're basically asking people with a certain model or like a certain year of jeepney that you have to exchange it for a newer one, but it's a lot more expensive
You have to pay for.
to to have to buy that jeep. Like you have to pay a fine in order to get that new jeep that you can operate. But because a lot of the drivers don't have enough money to pay that fine, they can't necessarily get it.
Yeah.
So not a lot of jeeps are operating, but I'm not so sure either.
Is
The
it still
money.
happening?
I
I'm
guess.
sorry. Is it still happening in even though there's a pandemic going on right now?
Uh, because the last time we talked about it, like in class, was in grade 12, pa actually. Like we discussed it in one
A
of our
year ago.
subjects
Mm-hmm.
2 years ago.
Two.
Joke.
Yeah. Just a year.
A year ago.
A
Yeah, just a
year.
year
A
ago.
year. Still fresh. We're still freshmen.
Mm-hmm.
No, we're sophomores because we're going into intercession. But yeah, no, the GT phase out was like an initiative for the government to like phase out old jeepneys that they say. I know it's true, naman. They produce more carbon emission, and they're not
Mm-hmm.
really how do you say this? They're not really focused on the consumer because
Mm-hmm.
sinisiksik ka sometimes. But it's hard to apply the fact that the jeepney drivers have to pay what 500k, 800k out from their pocket just to have a better vehicle with less seats and with more
Yeah.
money to maintain. So it's counterintuitive in a way.
Yeah. Parang buti pa sana if these drivers were in the medyo higher class, but
Yeah,
they're not.
like wouldn't it have been better if the government gave them the jeepneys and they had to like maybe work and half of their pay would be for the maintenance and I think there should be state sponsored vehicles because it's a public utility vehicle, it's for the public, and who are the government servicing the public, right?
Yeah, but jeepney drivers are technically paid. Their sweldo is dependent on how much riders that they can
Yeah,
get. So, and they don't pay taxes either.
Oh.
there's so many issues.
I mean, in income tax because they're not employed
Yeah,
technically. Yeah.
I think they have
Mm.
their own unions and they have their own
Mm-mm.
system.
Yeah.
I still think the system could be better, could help
Oh,
everyone
definitely. Yeah.
more.
I definitely.
Moving on, I think we should move on to a lighter
Yes.
subject. So Gap,
Yeah.
right? We're
Yeah.
all from the senior high, right? And me and JC are from STEM, and you're from HUMSS. So how has your
Yeah.
how has your experience in senior high been like as a HUMSS student?
Yeah. What's the environment like?
In terms of ACADS or in terms of
Everything.
like student life?
Student life.
Oh, okay.
Uh, okay. Well, in terms of student life, the people that you meet in Humes are very outspoken, and that's something that I wasn't used to. Because um, in the old high school, like even before senior high school, I think like I was the only one that was uh, I'll use the word feisty enough
Yeah,
to
huh? It's true.
get mad at when I yeah
Yeah, yeah.
when I saw something that I didn't feel was right. I'd always call out the person. Parang no, I don't think that should be the case. Not all the time, but way more often than my other classmates would. So when I got into Humes and I met these guys and girls that felt the same way as I did, parang, oh wow, what a breath of fresh air na hindi ko na-realize na kailangan ko rin.
How about you, JC?
Hmm.
How does it contrast?
Well, as a STEM student from senior high school, we had that stereotype for hum students, the social justice warriors, and it's true. And
Yeah.
we never meant it, although it may sound like it's negative, but we never meant it to be negative, because these people, they really fight for what they believe in, and they're so passionate about it. And meanwhile, STEM, we're just, yeah, physics.
It's pretty admirable though what you guys like fight for. And
Thank you.
uh,
I
like
think like
oh,
one.
sorry, you go.
Go. What?
You go.
You go.
Sorry.
Okay. One thing rin is parang because of that environment, I think I learned so much more from them. Like I didn't think that certain things were wrong, but after talking to them, oh mali pala yun. Oh, that could be
You opened up your eyes.
discussed pa. Yeah, like if I don't know about you guys, but for Humes, when we hear Bumaba Ka sa Bundok, we all cringe. It's not a happy song to us.
Why?
It puts, yeah.
Yeah. Were you under Sir Bok, Piokid? Either
No,
of you know.
we were under.
No.
Who are we under? Adan?
Nishanda?
Africa. No. Never mind.
For CSIP.
Shanda. We were, and yeah, ako, Shanda.
I
And she
forgot.
mentioned that the song puts Athenians on a pedestal. That we're
Yeah.
so high to ourselves.
I forgot.
Yeah. Like Sir Piokid just asked the class, who put you guys up the hill anyway? What makes you think there's a hill to begin with?
Mhm.
Unless you're talking about the literal hill, which is, Marikina, and then you're going down
Yeah.
to the other areas, that's fine. But if you're talking about a figurative hill, might be something you want to think about. So now also when I sing the song for Mary, I also get like, oh no.
Oh,
It's kind of like self-serving. I didn't see it that way.
Yeah, kinda. I also didn't think it was bad because I love the song. I mean, it's such a bop.
Yeah.
That
Uplifting.
shit slaps.
Yeah, sure.
down from the hill, down to the world go I. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's weird because maybe they recognize that privileged people study there, and now like less privileged people have the opportunity to go there, and it's kind of an imbalance in
Yeah, I get that. My understanding was like you recognize that you're in an ivory tower and that you're trying to go down from it.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
how other people, from what the transferees were talking about, they were saying that uh to even assume that you guys are in the tower in the first place is kind of mayabang. To put
entitled.
it
Yeah.
kindly. Yeah, entitled there.
I didn't see it that way. That you opened my eyes, Gap, as a huge student. I see it that way now, but yeah, it's weird though because they always preach about the hill physically because Ateneo is built on the hill, but
Yeah.
there's still a deep-seated way na, it's a place where privileged people study. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'll cringe
I
from now on.
agree. You don't have to. I don't want to ruin the song.
No, it was actually it did, but no, it's okay. It made me aware. It made me aware.
Oops.
No,
I'm
no,
sorry.
it's good. It's good. No, I have to be aware about those things because sometimes I'm not aware about a lot of things and I tend to offend people or get on the bad side of people. So, thank you.
Mhm.
Yeah. JC?
Oh yeah. How are you? How did you two become friends? So I've never heard of Bao and Gap. So like, I'm just
We
surprised.
were classmates twice. I think
Twice? Oh my god.
one,
When?
Grade 5? What was your 5?
Manobo. No, grade 4.
Isn't 4? 4 Manobo.
For Manobo. Yeah. Yeah, were we?
5. I wasn't Manobo.
Menjola. Menjola.
No, I wasn't
We were,
Mendiola.
I,
What
I
is?
remember
Oh my
we were,
god.
I remember we were classmates. Grade 2.
Oh, okay.
3.
Kalanchaw.
2.
Data. Mislinera.
Yeah, okay. 2
And
data. This is the only time we were
I
classmates.
think I think it
Fatima.
was. Yeah. No, because Gap's a cool person. I'm friendly to
Mm,
people who are nice.
You guys are cool too.
thank you.
Gap, anyways, what's your course again?
I am
Literature.
AD English Literature.
Yes.
What did you say, Jason?
I was guessing. I said literature. Then yeah,
Lit majors.
it's lit, bro.
Lit.
It's lit fam.
So, is it like English but more? English subject but more?
English with more.
Imagine it's I think the closest taste that any of you guys got to it was 21st century lit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Also,
yeah, that's the closest na.
So you're gonna read a lot of things. A lot.
Yeah. I honestly thought it was just stories because that was what 21st century lit was. It was always short stories, poems,
Yeah.
um, plays, but it's so much more than that. Like the amount of reading that I had to do, like research papers.
oh
You
god.
also tackle
Okay.
nonfiction.
It's not nonfiction. It's because literature as a discipline is very theoretical. So there's a lot of research that goes behind it. Na before you can analyze the text, you have to understand what tools you need to analyze the text. And that's what I was learning. Like, that's what I'm learning now. Parang what are the theories that you need to apply in order to read the text not properly, but like read texts in general.
Wow. That sounds so fun if you're really passionate about that.
Yes.
Yes. Kinda.
It's yeah. If you're parang I think what's super interesting about it is a lot similar to what my experiences with Hume students na it opened up a lot of doors to new things and like different ways of looking at certain things. Um, I think that's what my course did for me. Na it's not just you might think something is one way, but uh, totally flip the switch.
Mm-hmm.
So you could say it broadened your perspective on so many things.
Yes, definitely, definitely.
Are you planning to shift? Are you satisfied with your course?
Oh,
Oh, oh no.
oh.
Oh wait, that caught me off guard. Um, for a long while actually, like for pretty much more than half of my first year, I was thinking of shifting.
Oh, but
But no, I am pretty sure I'm gonna stay in
We
lit.
fell in love.
it's good. You might change your mind next year. You never know.
Yeah, I might, I'm
Yeah.
so fickle-minded. It's not that far off. But no. For now, I think I'm happy with my course.
Until when are you allowed to shift?
You're
Until
allowed
what
to
year?
shift anytime actually. You just
Oh,
uh I just know that your max stay in Ateneo is
6 years.
uh
10 years.
parang half one times 1.5 of what your stay is. So like Bao, if your stay is 5 years, times 1.5 of that.
7.5.
Yeah.
No,
Wow.
I think
8.5. 8.5.
But like for for a 4-year course, parang yung max stay namin is 6.
Mm.
Do you think people stay that long?
I've heard of 5th year. I know a lot of 5th years na hindi
Yeah,
naman for
I know
5 years
super
course ano, but 6 years, it's kind of unheard of in Ateneo.
Actually, I think maybe the 6 years are like people who are finishing their masters. Because I had a classmate in my major class for programming, intro to programming. There were like two. There was like a guy who was married already. He had the ring and everything.
Oh wow.
And there was a guy who looked like he was in his 50s. He always wore a barong. Not it was like it was like an office style barong. You know those types na.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that one. He always wore that to class. Since there was this guy was a faculty pa. So like, there I've encountered many strange classmates. They're not strange, but they're like old. That's pretty cool.
Oh, I didn't know that. But they participated as students talaga,
Yeah,
as in
they
like they
did.
were getting grades and
They
everything.
did.
Oh wow. Oh, never
It's
had that.
I was surprised because one of them looked like a teacher, but then they sat beside. They sat on the seats. So it was like an unsettling thing. Oh, yung pala yan. Scary. Because I also had a. Have you heard of we had a really young looking prof for histo. I think you know her. Gap.
Wong, Ma'am
Yeah.
Wong.
Mamo.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's pretty cool. But yeah, there's like profs that look really young, but they're actually in their 30s.
Oh yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
JC.
But it's also amazing when your prof is a fresh grad and he's all. I guess I had a prof. I think it was organic chemistry laboratory. I think he was a fresh grad, or maybe 2 years. And you can tell he's just new to it. And then he's just ranting to us na hirap i-check ng mga papers namin. Then he's dying with us. It's cool because we were on the same wavelength. Like, it was just one experiment. It was recrystallization of benzoic acid. And it looked super cool. Because he was watching me and then I asked him, "So, sir, marunong ka gumawa ng shabu?" And he was like, "Ah, yeah." Then he told me how. So,
That's
cool.
cool.
Oh, what was the name of your prof? Because I know Anton and I had the same chem prof for lab.
I forgot. I never remember my profs' names.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Same.
Sorry. Oh, did you say the name of your chem prof was?
Oh yeah, Sorne, Mr. Sorne.
Yeah, he was my chem prof also for first sem.
Oh, how was he?
Was he foggy?
Nuh-uh. He was a good prof.
He was Sabaw.
Yeah, he was really sabaw. I think it was like
Yeah.
he's perfect for, because I'm not a science major, so my chemistry was just the nat sci na yung basic baby chemistry.
Mhm.
I think he's good for that because he was talking dumb to us and we were like, oh,
Dump it down.
that's so good, that's so cool, sir.
But I think he's really good for lab. Because in lab you do
Mhm.
less lectures, and I think I would fall asleep if he were to lecture. So,
Oh yeah, definitely. Like even in our labs, I was like, when he was lecturing, I was like, huh, what's happening?
Have you had terror profs?
Oh yes.
Do you
how
have an
terror.
anecdote? Yeah, how terror.
If I don't know, I'm pretty sure Chino Mortel talks about her a lot. Palino.
We haven't
No,
spoken
we
to
haven't
her.
heard. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Or if do you guys still talk to Wami?
No, we don't know
A
Masali.
lot.
Do you have an
Well,
anecdote?
Well, what's one thing he or
Yeah.
she did?
She on our first day of actual, like, besides the day, but the first day is the syllabus day, and then they just discuss the syllabus, blah blah
Yeah.
blah. The first day of actual classes, she promised that if we didn't have our readings printed out with annotations meaning
Wow.
both highlights and written notes, she'd send us out.
Oh.
Is this
And
for
if you
Oh
didn't
God.
read the
second
reading,
sem?
first sem,
Oh.
as in
Did it
this, she's yeah,
did it actually ever
sorry,
happen though? Did
yeah.
it happen? Oh, Chino.
We've had people that were sent out of class, dead ass in the middle of the class. She's gonna ask a question, and if because she doesn't like it when just one person's answering, so
Mm-hmm.
she brings out her index cards,
Index
and when she calls
cards.
Index
randomly, if you can't answer the question, step out of my classroom.
Oh my god.
And God, like every MWF, and that was my major.
Oh
Every
no.
MWF was like stress.
Terror. Yeah, yeah. I did you even
Yeah,
finish it and like finish annotating everything in 3 days or something?
it was one reading per day. Ah.
Oh
Oh.
God. That's a lot.
Yeah, minimum. That's why I'm not that. I'm happy and sad that I took that class because I'm kind of unfazed by readings now. Because she was making us read average 20-page readings na thrice a week.
Mm-hmm.
So, when it got to the next sem, I was like, 10 pages, that's short. Nah.
So you managed to actually read all at least 60 pages a week?
Di naman. Like, I'm not gonna lie and say that I read absolutely everything. But, I did I did my best naman. Parang sinubukan ko talaga. And I feel that you have to have the right diskarte eh. Parang
Yeah.
syempre, you're gonna fake highlight some
Mhm.
words.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
of
you're gonna
course.
fake write some notes. And answer the question. Like, if you know something, you raise your damn hand. You don't be shy. Because if she says, because there are a lot of times that she calls my name with her index cards and she says, sit down, you've answered too much,
Oh my god.
And so I'm just like, oop,
That's good.
dodge the
Mhm.
bullet.
Immunity.
Yeah. So I think um, a big part of handling terror props is you have to have the right discarte with how to deal with these kinds of things.
I
Yeah,
had
but
my oh sorry.
oh, yeah, I wonder how terror profs would be given the situation now. Like it's gonna
Oh
be online class. I mean, can they send you out of the call?
Kick you from the Zoom call.
Yeah.
I think that's possible.
Oh
Like
God,
you can
they
kick
might
someone
actually
out.
do that.
They can.
Oh no.
But then again, I think at the same time, it's harder for students to misbehave or, to not do their work.
Because
Like,
my
if you
profs
don't
might
submit.
understand the context we're in. So I don't think they're going to be as terror as they were right now because they're
Yeah.
handling stuff in. Hmm. I had an experience with a terror prof. You know Mrs. Santos from the field department.
Dr. Santos?
Oh
Dr.
God,
Santos.
Dr. Santos.
Yeah, she was my prof. For second sem, bless me. Because it was, I'm not a reader. And it's hard for me to follow her lectures because she doesn't stop talking. She doesn't stop. Like when I try to, she's still talking. Like she's like she keeps talking. That's what annoys me the most. And when I ask her something, sometimes she gets really condescending. Parang, how can I learn? But I get that she's a really, really scholar of Philippine literature and all that. She doesn't stop talking. I need to have time to process what she keeps I don't know she keeps talking.
Talking. Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard about her. Even in senior high, right? She taught one section in our batch.
Mm,
Yeah. Right, Ben.
Yeah.
yeah, I think you're right.
And then that famous line from her, walang ambag sa korpus ng ano yun, kaalaman.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What was it? What is it about? Who said that? Why'd she say that?
Nasa ano yun, like,
basically,
every Filipino paper, nasa rubric.
yeah,
Oh my god.
it's
Uh,
if you don't bring anything new to the table,
why?
it's not.
Why bother?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was her criteria. If it's not a new idea, I'm gonna give you a C plus, from what I understood.
Pero malalim yun Walang ambag sa korpus ng lipunan.
Kaalaman.
Kaalaman. Kaalaman. Sorry.
Yeah, kaalaman.
What does it translate to?
No.
No contribution to
Yeah.
the pool of knowledge. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, one more.
So
She kept
sad.
saying so many deep Filipino words. Na it was hard for like me, like medyo well versed ako in Filipino. It was hard for me to understand some of the stuff she was saying.
Oh God.
Oh man.
I'm always that student. What did sir say? What did ma'am say?
Oh yeah.
That is me. That is
You're
me.
dead. You're dead if you like that. She also made us print, like we had like this stick reading. I think do you guys have like props now? They make you print all the readings in the beginning of the sem.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it was this stick. Cause yeah, same with you. We had to annotate and read everything. But
Do you
yeah,
remember how much you paid?
180 because you could pay another.
Wow.
You could pay 50 to get it bound, but I didn't get it bound. Because I rarely brought the readings because they were really big, so I just borrowed my seat.
Yeah.
It was a bad. I was an irresponsible student. Sorry. Yeah.
For my major, we printed 650 pesos worth.
Shit.
Oh, wow.
We had to pay 650 at the start of the seminar as a lib, and then that was half of it.
Oh my god. I mean, you're lit major, so you gotta
Yeah,
use a lot of
I'm not. I mean, we didn't tackle everything naman in those files, but you know, when I first got it, I saw Sina Mary, other STEM people from senior high in
Yeah.
Rizal Live, and they were like, "Oh, we're gonna distribute that too. For what subject is that?" I was like, "This is
Oh
just
no.
mine."
That was big. Oh my god.
I
Do you
still
have
have it with me.
how thick is it na lang? Huh?
I can actually show you.
Oh.
Oh. So how are you, JC? You okay?
Yeah.
Me too.
We do it.
Shit, that's thick. That's what she said.
Oh, God. Wait, is that half of one
This is
sem
half
or?
of one sem.
Jesus Christ.
Because this is the hard packet, and then there was a soft packet. So these were the readings that she couldn't find the PDF of, that she just had to print by herself, that she had to photocopy by herself. So
So for our reader,
Yeah.
Gap is holding something that is considerably thick, and it's thick enough for me to say, Jesus Christ, that's thick. So maybe it's about 4 inches, 4
Yeah.
inches.
yeah, siguro, I don't know.
That's not thick. Like imagine if you had 4 fingers up for the listeners, 4 fingers.
Oh yeah, 4
Oh,
fingers.
4 fingers, probably that big. I mean,
I think it's time.
were you happy? What, JC?
Oh, time limit, yes.
What time? Not yet.
No, like hanggang 45 minutes.
Okay. You want to end it now? Sure.
Yeah, we can like ease into it.
Okay. I'm lagging. Oh. I'm gonna edit this again.
Yeah.
I'm lagging. Yo, this is so weird. There's a 1 second delay, so I'm seeing stuff I did 1 second before, and it's really fluid right now. Okay, Gab, as a
Yeah.
really big bear, how do you
Big bear.
like deal with people? You know the anxiety when you walk in tech walk, or like when you
Yeah.
know a lot of people, I mean, you're a very sociable person naman, right? So,
Okay.
do you feel the anxiety when you walk in sec walk in between classes? And how do you deal with being active in lots of orgs? And how does it affect your social life?
Um, for the most part, it was tiring for me this year because I feel that org life in senior high school is so much more different from college, and na culture shock ako. I mean, I've been here my whole life and yet na culture shock ako.
How
Cause
was it different?
uh well, I think the most stark difference was in Sangu.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How
Because in senior high school we were all parang one big barkada just working together under different councils, but we all knew each other more often than not. But this one is really just business, and you're working on
Oh
a
yeah,
lot
that's
larger
true.
scale events, and not a lot of people care. Sad to say, not a lot of people care in college now what we do. So when it comes to events and even our promotions on social media,
there's no
kailangan very planado yung mga ginagawa namin.
there's no camaraderie or like being friendly to everyone there. There's no sense of
No, I mean like it's not that people aren't friendly. It's just that it's
It's
so much big.
professional.
Yeah, that and it's so much bigger. Like let's say if in senior high Sangu was let's say 100 people, triple, quadruple that. That's college Sangu. So I don't know more than half of the people there.
even if you're like a really active sangu.
I try to be, pero wala rin. It's very difficult. Different work uh, setting and in general, like the environment isn't as homey as it was before.
Mm-hmm. Wait, Gap, di ba you're a very
Mm-hmm.
huggy person, right? You're very
Yes,
malambing with everyone.
generally I am. Yes.
How do you
Yes.
like coming back? If you think about it, coming back to school after everything, how would you like greet people? Like
Well,
connecting to the sec walk there.
Yeah, I honestly don't know. I think the new normal is going to be hard for me to adjust, especially because,
no hugs.
uh, yeah. I mean, I think I can deal naman with the no hugs, but like, oh God, for me, what's hard is like the beso, because I don't handshake or high five
Yeah.
people. I'm a beso person, so that is gonna
Oh
be
yeah.
hard. That's my automatic reaction. Oh hi. Now it's gonna be like awkward na hi.
You just wave now instead.
Yeah, you can only wave. And I'm pretty sure we're still gonna be in face masks by the time.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna be
It's
hard to
probably in
distinguish.
2021.
Uh,
Uh,
it's hard to be a really affection. It's really hard to show affection now. You can hug people, and like if your primary source of affection to your friends is you hug them, how will you show it now? Will you just give them finger hearts
Yeah.
or something? Hey, what's up,
I
bro?
agree. The physical touch love language is very
it's dead. It's
hard to
dying.
deal with now. It's dying now of
It's
all
dying.
times.
Dying. In every breakfast burrito episode, we have a tradition. Tradition, yes,
Okay.
of relating the main topics we talked about to a breakfast burrito. Because honestly, Bao and I, we don't even know what a breakfast burrito looks like or tastes like. We just know it has egg. Have you eaten that? Have you
Uh,
eaten a breakfast burrito?
I think so. Maybe from Army Navy. I think I've had one.
Oh, you're the first guest.
You're the first guess.
Amazing.
Pretty cool.
Oh, really?
Wow. Wait, so can you describe to us, please, what it's like?
Please.
Uh, from what I know, you change the meat. So normally, because Army Navy has like Filipino
Variant.
cuisine in it.
Yeah.
So yeah, you change the meat to be like longanisa or tapa.
Oh, okay.
So it's like a
And
Filipino breakfast inside the burrito.
then basically that, yeah.
Oh,
From what I know, but I might be wrong.
Sounds delicious.
tapsilog in a wrap. Oh my god.
Yo.
Yeah.
So bad.
Yeah. And imagine the rice is sinangag.
J-Sec,
Nah.
J-Sec
Oh,
idea, bro.
yes.
J-Sec idea right here. Okay, so I think the first topic we can relate to breakfast burrito would be, um,
Social
bad
issues.
social issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. BA. How can you relate it?
Sorry, what do you mean by relate?
I
Like,
don't.
Say I'll start. Like we talked about, what did we talk about? The government,
the
you know?
black. Uh-huh.
The government. Let's start with it. The government is like a breakfast burrito in a way that like you expect it to look good outside, you have so much promise, looks good outside, but then when you bite into it, the eggs really bland and boring, the rice is undercooked, and the source of protein isn't even good when it's raw
Mm.
somehow. And there's a little piece of hair that's stuck between your teeth when you pull it out.
And then you rapping si Bongo
It's you just stick, yeah,
from the office of Senator Bongo. Yeah.
and you just cry because sad burrito. So yeah, that's how we relate it.
All right. I think for the Black Lives Movement, I think that it's a breakfast burrito in a way that it's so layered that you might think that when you get a bite, you get one. When you bite into the breakfast burrito of the Black Lives Movement, you think that's it. But you have to keep on digging. You have to keep on educating yourself
Mhm.
on the issue for you to understand how multi-layered and intersectional it actually is,
Whoa,
and
deep.
that's what's important.
That's deep.
Nice.
JC, how about you explain how a breakfast burrito is
What's
related
next?
to senior high
HUMSS.
school strands? Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Oh, so I think the wrapper would be the senior high school in itself, and then the strands would be the ingredients. Of
Wow.
course, since our guest is from Humes, we have to give the best part of the burrito as a Humes, like the egg is probably the Humes. It's the source of protein.
Oh.
Then, there's stem. I don't know. It's probably not even part of the burrito. It's probably just the
The
sauce and it's too
wrapping.
spicy.
Yeah.
And
No,
then
I think you guys are
ABM.
like, no, oh no. Wait,
Oh
okay, let's
no.
not go there.
Oops.
Yung resibo.
Tama kasi may numbers.
Oh yeah. Nasa tapang mo sa basura na. Oh.
Tapos boring lang din.
Oh.
Whoopsie. How about professors? I'll take this one. Professors are like breakfast burritos because they might come in all different flavors. No. Breakfast burritos can teach you a thing or two the way professors can, right? Like for example, you bite into a breakfast burrito, and it's too hot. So it teaches you the value of patience.
Wow.
And my profs teach you the value of patience by like making you read so many readings or making you process every word she's saying for the 50 minutes. I can't stop thinking about how she can't stop saying things. It's a nightmare. The prof. What's the next stop?
Then
Right?
spread.
Right.
Breakfast burritos are colorful.
Yes. They come in all shapes and sizes, and there's no definite, there's no binary way to categorize burritos.
I can't think of a bad flavor.
For me, it's like Why I dislike breakfast burritos because even though you change what might be inside the breakfast burrito, it's still a breakfast
Oh,
burrito.
I like. Oh,
Yes.
yes,
Yes.
yes, I like that. And lastly, we talked about
What did we talk about?
the love language of what's
Oh
the
yeah. Breakfast
Physical
burrito
touch.
as a physical touch.
yeah.
Mm.
Hmm.
I mean, eating a breakfast burrito is probably one of the more intimate sessions you can have with food. Because it's not just, wings that you just bite off.
That's true.
A breakfast burrito, you have to hold it with both hands and embrace it. And the contact between your lips and the wrapper, it's different. And then sometimes there's salsa on the side of your lips, and it still stings because it's hot.
Yeah.
Oh God, oh.
You could have like unwanted sexual tension with a burrito because you just look at it and you're like, can I swallow
Sexual
this?
tension with the burrito?
Yeah, because do you think you can take it? And you're like just looking at the burrito.
Yeah, and it's so mysterious. Do you know what's inside? You want to know
Yeah.
more about it.
Is it what you ordered?
Okay.
Is it what you think it is? Will it taste different when you
Mhm.
bite it? Will stuff explode? You never know. You think it'll fit in
Yeah.
your mouth even? You just have to try, right?
I think
Yes. Yeah.
I think the love languages are their own breakfast burrito. We don't appreciate it the same way as, each person has their own love language. Each person has their own want for a breakfast burrito. What's their own?
Hmm.
I want tapa. You want longanisa. He wants tocino.
I like that.
But
Okay, so we're done with our podcast. Any shout outs, Gap?
oh my god, I didn't prepare. Got me gonna lie.
Honestly, at this point, siguro we only have one person listening.
And we love you, person
It's
who's
fine.
listening right now.
Yes, we love you from the bottom of our hearts and our breakfast burritos.
Mm-hmm. Any shout outs, Gap?
Ano na lang, shout out to the G Boys. If you ever stumble upon this, and SSK, I love you guys.
Yay.
Oh, JC, remember you have to say a word for the people who.
Oh, yeah. So, in the rare event that there's actually one listener who reached this point, can you please type in the comments flamingo? I joke, no, not that, not that.
Why not?
Because
Call
you
back.
mentioned it at the start.
Call back, bro. Call back.
What?
No, you call back from the beginning of the podcast, so it feels like a loop.
Okay. Yeah.
Feels like a appropriate end.
So yeah, if someone comments flamingo because I told you to and you heard this, and we see you, yeah, there's a huge gift for you from us.
Yeah.
And it comes with a big love.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you for listening to this podcast. We hope you listen to the next one. Anyways, bye.
Yes. Bye-bye.
Bye.